princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Bobbi Brown Longwear Even Finish Compact Foundation. You can't live without Longwear liquid foundation in a fuss-free compact. Perfectly matched to skin tone and texture, this formula never looks fake or makeup-y, just like smooth, even skin. It's for anyone who wants a medium to full coverage, oil-free foundation that lasts for up to 12 hours, even in the most humid conditions. A special film former provides flexible coverage that feels like skin. Plus, it's completely portable, even with a hidden sponge applicator right in the compact so you can look polished wherever you go. For a flawless finish, we recommend using an oil-free moisturizer to prep the skin. To avoid adding extra oil from your fingers when applying the foundation, use a brush or a sponge to even out the skin. This foundation comes housed in a really elegant black casing, and it has a mirror, the cream compact, and a little applicator sponge underneath. I was really surprised at how little product you got in this compact because the packaging is quite big. In reality, the foundation is only housed in this tiny little disc in the centre, and it's only 8 grams of product for 90 New Zealand dollars. I have the shade 00 Alabaster, which is the very lightest of all of the shades that Bobbi Brown makes. It's a very pale, neutral to yellow toned shade, whereas Porcelain, which is shade 0, is a touch pinker. And it fits my skin really well. Obviously it looks a little bit light on my hand because my hands are exposed to more skin than the rest of my body is. In all honesty, I don't particularly like this compact foundation because I really struggle to make the formula work for my skin. I've had this cream foundation for over a year now, and I still haven't managed to find a combination or an application method that makes it look good on my skin. Usually I have very oily skin, and with this foundation, after about 3 hours, it becomes so oily that it slides straight off my face. It's really disgusting, and if I blow my nose, just half of the foundation will come off my nose, and it just looks really awful. No matter how many blotting sheets I use or how much powder I use halfway through the day, the foundation still looks like it's separating and it needs to be blended back in with my fingers, which is really annoying for a foundation that costs so much money. At the moment I have very dry skin. My skin doesn't produce any oil because I'm on acne medication, and this foundation is still no better. I was initially really excited to try it with my dry skin, and it just looks awful. I'm pretty sure you won't be able to tell because I'm quite far away from the camera, but my forehead is really flaky looking and it still just looks terrible. I find this foundation very difficult to blend into my skin. I find that it just sits on top of my skin, which doesn't help with the unblended look halfway through the day. I've tried using sponges, different types of brushes, dense brushes, or like duo fiber brushes, and nothing really seems to work for me. So to start off, I prime my face using an oil-free primer base. The best method of application that I've found so far is to use a duo fiber stippling brush. This one is from Real Techniques, and just dab and blend the foundation all over the skin. I'm blending the foundation thoroughly into my skin, doing small sections at a time. I use my fingers to blend out around my eyes, mouth and nose. I do have a lot of blemishes to cover on my face, but I find that using a small amount of the foundation and then building up the coverage as needed works the best. Once I'm finished with my first layer of the foundation, there's still a couple of blemishes that need concealing. This foundation initially has a really beautiful finish. It's really soft and satiny, but it definitely does need setting with a powder. After 6 hours, my foundation is not looking too great. You can see that it's rubbed off on the top of my nose and my pores are looking quite shiny even though my skin doesn't actually produce any oil at all. My forehead is also looking quite dry and my 2 wrinkles are really apparent. I actually quite like this foundation for any special occasions where I'm going to be out for a short amount of time, hopefully under 3 hours, because I find that this foundation usually looks initially quite nice apart from my dry forehead at the moment, and before 3 hours it still looks good. I would not wear this foundation for any long days over 3 or 4 hours because it just requires so much effort to keep it looking good throughout that time. I really wish that New Zealand sold the shade Alabaster in different formulas because we currently only sell it in this cream compact and the stick foundation, neither of which are good formulas for me because the colour is really lovely. I do love that the colour is a good match for my skin, and I also love that it has a gorgeous finish to start with. But I don't love that it is so difficult to blend. It gives an unblended appearance after 3 or 4 hours. It's super oily if you have oily skin, which it also claims to be oil free for 12 hours, which is totally not true, at least for me. You can wipe it off with your fingers after 6 hours, which is really gross, and you get the tiniest amount of product for $90, which is just ridiculous. I will still continue to use this foundation until it's gone because I really don't want to waste my money, and if I find a better way to apply it I will probably just redo this video because it's taken me over a year to do it already and I just can't figure out how to do it. I've tried different brushes, different sponges, different makeup primers, different moisturizers, setting sprays, different powders, and I just cannot figure out how to make it better. I've also gone to the counter and the Bobbi Brown ladies actually don't know how to make it look nice on my skin either, and they don't know why someone sold it to me in the first place. I would recommend this compact foundation for any princesses who have pretty perfect skin already that is neither dry or oily, who want a foundation in a very handy compact container, and especially for those princesses who have very pale skin like me who are looking for a very pale neutral to yellow toned foundation. Thank you so much for watching this review. Leave a comment, like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.